Now, let's just see how this works out. Well, it's the technique of the French against the brawn of England. Great shove on there, but the referee has seen French bring it down, and it's going to be a penalty to England. Tension is in the stadium. It's from protesting. It didn't sound great, but it looks great. And it's over. Youngs has a look. Back for Flood again. And Flood and Happy. This was a bit rash, perhaps. Trying to run from in there. It's offered France the chance. And they get the penalty 6 years ago. England led 17-6 in this fixture. And this team's scrum half, Marc-Lièvre Ramon's choice, Dmitry Yashvili, popped over 18 points from penalties, and France won by a single point. And there's the first of 3 points for France this afternoon. So Palmer at the front and Deacon, and it's Palmer, and down there for Youngs, and Youngs to take it on here by Nick Easter. And Youngs, advantage to England. Josian was offside. Another super kick.
Right through the middle. That was a maul. He's not obliged to leave it go.
Well, they've got it out again. Toby Flood back inside to Youngs. And Youngs inside to Palmer. And now Dan Cole. It's rather static. Couldn't get up ahead of steam. But maybe the backs will. Flood. Happy. Taken on by Wood. Tom Wood. Now it's the hooker Dylan Hartley. Hartley has Top. Lewis Deacon outside. Deacon back inside. England threatening that French line. It's Youngs. Once again, it's Tom Wood. And the head of steam has been got up. This time it's Tyndall. Tyndall looped out to the full back. Ben Foden stopped in his tracks, though. But England can do it again. Tyndall playing scrum half. Just outside that French 22. Youngs. No way through.
Leave it closed,
for Dylan Hartley. Youngs again.
Advantage.
So we flood advantage to England as they continue. Down goes Dan Cole. There's a penalty advantage to England being played here. Once more through the uprights. The other number 10 restarts. Tranduk. Tom Wood waits. Oh, it's come down for Dusautoir. Well, that was good by France. Now Tranduk. France trying to get up their own head of steam. Chabal. England must defend resolutely. And that's a penalty to France. Yashvili goes through his routine and plants it straight between the uprights. And it's England 9, France 6. England's scrum. It's interesting, the game widely regarded as the top Northern Hemisphere game, and yet just like last year, it's all about kicks, really, isn't it? France won the Grand Slam kicking in the first half, didn't score a single point in the second half, beat England 12-10, and it's all been kicks so far. And here's another chance for France. Offside. This is a big one. A big one in the context of the contest too. It's got the accuracy, and it's a 9-9, all square.
Pause, engage.
And picked by Chabal, Yashvili, Quatrino, Uge.
Release.
And the whistle sounds for a penalty to France. 3 out of 3 so far. Favoured side for a left-footed kicker. Unhelpful whistling from the English crowd. Great kick. Well, it seemed to be a great kick. a whisker away. And a let-off for England at the end of the first half. Toby Flood waits, George Clancy blows the whistle, and away we go. Yashvili, oh, charged down there by Tom Palmer. Down on it goes Uge. Is this the error? Uge right at his line. And the whistle sounds. It's going to be a scrum. Well, that's a start that England could only have dreamt about. The eye contact's been there between Youngs and Flood. England must control the scrum. It's at the feet of Nick Easter and James Haskell. Now it's Youngs and taken on here. A chance for Cueto. Just stopped short of the line. Here goes Youngs again. Taken on this time by Dylan Hartley. Swiftly away to Flood. Flood through Cueto. Foden's there! Ben Foden scores for England. Ben Foden, the Northampton fullback, puts England back in front in just the second minute of the second half. And here it is again. Good hands through, Cueto matching the offload, and Foden with determination making it to the line.
Great to see it again. I mean, he did well, didn't he? Like the strength to get over the line. He carried 2 blue shirts with him. But I mean, there was a huge degree of luck involved in it, no question.
His 15th in the championship. All previous 14 have gone over. Oh, that looks to be drifting away.
Carry back in.
Back with Flood.
Stop!
And Flood's put it right down the middle, and Poitrino comes to gather it. Chabal into the contact and over the halfway line. And that will have given England some belief to play at a higher tempo and a higher level than they had been. Tom Palmer. Youngs would pick up. Youngs for Flood. Flood seeks to get back inside. It's Youngs, but the ball's gone forward. Oh, what a call that is. Ashton touches down, but the call was forward pass. Well, I had my doubts looking at it in real time with the naked eye. Let us see.
That was my reaction too, George, I have to say. That's forward. That's a fair call. That could have been as well, but certainly from Flood.
France await the throw of Serva. Arnie Nordicki taking. Yashvili. Big pass to Chabal in the middle. And Haskell puts him down. You'll have relished that. Kranduk. Uge in from the right wing. Kranduk once more. England's midfield defence holding firm and winning them a penalty. Oh, now a chance to put themselves 2 scores ahead of France. Has it got the distance? The crowd are cheering. It's there. What a start for Wilkinson, and a 2-score lead for England. 17-9. France, who expected, must now deliver. But what that does for English confidence after getting away with it at half-time. They could have been behind, remember, if Yashvili had converted the last penalty, but they went in level. And, well, they'd given away a penalty. It was James Haskell. We'll see if Yashvili can put them back in touch. It should be a kick well within his range. He's missed just one of the 4 beforehand. Now that looks like it's on its way. Oh! Another piece of good fortune for England. Back off the upright. And England clear. But now France attempt to hit back. Yashvili has a look there. Doing exactly as Tony Ward suggested. A little kick through that. Oh! They nearly got a touchdown. But they didn't.
Superb kick. Oh, absolutely. How did he miss that? He'll be having nightmares for a long time to come. Oh.
Was it against England that Dominici had a similar incident? He wasn't chasing a kick ahead, though. He dropped the ball over the line, but Ruggieri should have scored
man,
there,
it's fine.
for sure.
Don't go in there, Blue.
Danny Kerr. James Haskell. Now Wilkinson. Oh, here he goes again. Chris Ashton. Ashton. Oh, wrong decision. Why didn't he back himself?
I agree. When he made the decision initially to go, he should have gone all the way. In the end, he fell between the two stools, and it was a nightmare pass. He did well to break the line in the first place. Really clever inside ball from Wilkinson, finding Ashton, and away he went. And look, there he'd made the decision to go, then he changed his mind. And that's where the try opportunity was lost.
This is the fella who scored 6 tries in 2 games. And you'd have felt the confidence would be so sky high. But then he's had precious little involvement in this game, in all fairness. And maybe he just felt confidence wasn't up. This is taken on by Henry Fury. And this is a wonderful way to finish. Driving at the French line again. The clock goes red. The whistle sounds. It's a scrum to France. The ball went forward. But there's time for no more. And England have their 3rd consecutive home win.